Yeah, I clicked OK.
Perfect.
I don't know why it has my daughter's name down here.
Oh, I can change that. Let me change that real quick. Uh, with an H.
Yep,
Now you're fixed.
there you go.
What's up, Crash It Nation? This is Jonathan Wood. We're here with another episode of the Crashed It podcast. Joining me on the podcast today, we have the owner and operator of Oklahoma Boys Promotion, John Reeves. Thanks, John, for joining us on the
Uh,
Crashed It podcast.
Thank you for inviting us. I look forward to this.
Yeah, we always look forward to new guests, and especially on the promotion side, we get into talking to different promoters about Demolition Derby. We get a lot of drivers, but not very many promoters. So we always like to get into the promoting side as well as Demolition Derby. First off, my first question is kind of how did you get into the sport of Demolition Derby? Were you a driver or what got you into it?
Uh, Years ago, when as a kid growing up wise, my brother, I helped him build cars and stuff. And I, I was on to our local county fair board association, and I picked up the chairman of the demo from my brother. At one time, he had it, and just kind of been going from there. Had a couple friends that always kind of pushed me to just do stuff myself and some other stuff. And then I had a guy from another area kept calling me, and I did a show for him. I helped him get a show together. And then he was like, I want you to do it next. And with people kind of pushing me this and that, and I just kind of grabbed a few guys that used to demo that still kind of do and asked them to help me and just kind of started from there.
Did you have you ever driven
I
as
never
well,
had,
or
no, just build them is all I've ever really did.
that's interesting. That's an interesting aspect. But you were heavily involved with the fair, and so that's new to us. It's nice that you've just always been on the promotion side, it sounds like, as far as Demolition Derby goes.
Yeah, I've always been on that
So,
side of it just to help promote it and get stuff going.
was there a key moment that occurred on the track or something, or maybe at an event that really pushed you towards being a promoter?
No, not really. Just some friends that just kind of advised me is like, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. And later on I can kind of tell you who that guy was here in a little bit because I kind of do a show for him now.
And I think we're going to touch on that too. So, how long have you been promoting?
Uh, I've been on the Fair Association and being the chairman of the demo for my local, the Interstate Fair, probably 15 years, if not longer. I'm not really sure. I've never really counted them, but just started Oklahoma Boys has probably been 5 or 6 years, I suppose, something like that.
It's 5 or 6 years of promoting and several years of experience in the fair board. Is there a certain show as you've been promoting that you really enjoy the most, or do you like them all, or how's the do you get enjoyment from each show?
Yeah, I enjoy. Um, I've met a lot of great guys doing this. Made a lot of friends. I enjoy it. I like traveling around and seeing the world and just meeting new people. It's kind of cool to do sometimes. Sometimes it gets to be a pain in the ass, but you're not everybody's friend all the time.
Yeah, so you're the owner and the main promoter. So do you do all the tech inspections too, or do you have a crew that helps you out with that?
No, I got a crew. I've had some great guys help me in the past before, and I got some great guys helping me now. That they know a lot about it, a lot more than I do sometimes of building and teching the cars that really helped me a lot. And it's because of them of the success that I've been having.
I've always said surround yourself with good people and good things will happen. So, um, yeah, it's important to have guys that are knowledgeable in every area. So, do you have like a specialist in compacts or full size, or do you have just a tech crew that does them all, or do you
Yeah,
have separate lines? How do you do that?
I got a couple guys that are the compacts. I've never built a compact, never done anything with them, so I picked up a couple guys, Wade and Josh Daniels, that they do the compact side of it for me now, and they do a great job, and I really appreciate what they do for me.
On 2024, that's this year. You guys have already had a show in Claremore, Oklahoma, and was it Enid as well
Yeah,
this year?
yeah, we did Enid. It was kind of the New Year's show that we did in Enid. That was the first year there. Great facility, a great track. That has the potential to be a really big show if they can really get it going wise.
Yeah, so you had Enid, and that was it was like New Year's special show. How'd that go over? Did you get a lot of new faces, like new drivers that you haven't seen run your shows much, or is it the same crew?
There was a few, 3 or 4 guys that I've never seen before that ran that, but most of them was a lot of people that did drive. And the first time show, kind of that in that area, there's not much demo derby stuff going on in that area right now. So I kind of figured it would be a hard show that to get people to come to. It wasn't full. Um, you know, we were taking 28 cars per class. I think we only had probably half of that in each class wise, but it was still a real good show.
How was the atmosphere? Was that on New Year's Eve? Was that
Yeah,
Derby on New Year's?
yeah, it was actually the day before New Year's Eve, but they called it the New Year's Bash because it's just so close to it, you know.
Right.
Uh, I'm not sure on the dates if it would be that date again next year or whatever, but the atmosphere of it, the people that ran it, and it was like that was a damn good track. I'm coming back, so it should be a good show next year if they have it again.
Did you have any fan feedback or like was it like a party atmosphere since it was so close to New Year's? Or
No, I didn't really think it was really a party wise, just kind of the just a regular demo, and that just got started, and the crowd, a pretty good crowd. They could have had more, but maybe other stuff was going on. It's hard to say. Just trying to get the word out to it.
yeah. Yeah, that would be, and I'm sure a lot of people had plans. That was probably on a Saturday night or something.
Yeah.
And that was probably when a lot of people were celebrating their new year. So, um, but yeah, I heard that. I've watched a couple of videos on YouTube of that show, and it looked like an awesome facility from what I could tell. Um, yeah, it looked like it has definitely has some potential in the coming years, and I hope it continues to grow for you. Is that more of a hometown area for you? Because one thing we haven't really hit on yet is the amount of states that you travel. I just looking at your schedule in the next 3 weeks coming up is brutal.
Yeah. Now, even though it was in Oklahoma, it was still a 3.5 hour drive for me just to get to that place. So it wasn't a hometown show or nothing like that. But up around Oklahoma City, kind of getting up to that way, there's just there's no shows up there really. So there's not nobody to draw to there. So
Right.
hopefully we can get something going in that area and get more people involved in the sport.
Yeah, we had a similar situation with our Lucky Sevens here in Central Missouri. We tried a show at Richland, Missouri. We had it like 20 years ago. That place was rocking, but now it's all they're a rodeo fair board now. Like
Uh,
it's
I understand that. Yeah.
hard to draw some drivers from that area. Everyone's showing horses and cows that day, and they just it's rough. It's rough on the promotion side. Um, it's a great facility as well, though, but they just uh, it's hard to draw cars there. So,
Yeah.
all right, Claremore, Oklahoma. That was your next stop of the year. I think that was like January 20th or something around there.
Yeah. It ended up
I've
kind of
seen.
being about the same way. It wasn't a full field of cars like we had the year before. I'm not exactly sure why we haven't got the full field like that we had last year, but it was a good show. It was so cold that we ended up going, instead of running heats, we just did one and done. I think
And
it
your
was,
drivers, they probably like that.
yeah, they did like that. It was too dang cold to work on the cars outside. It was free.
I was gonna ask if I did a little research on the weather that weekend before we came on here, and it was in the teens, and I was wondering like, man, with the wind and all that, it's got to be, I mean, sub-zero temperatures, and I was wondering if that affected the show any, and I'm sure it did. I mean, that might have been the reason why it didn't fill up.
Yeah,
You
it's hard to say. Yeah, the guys they were pitching tents outside and had heaters inside the tents and this and that stuff. So, it's cold when the guys are doing
been
that.
like Blizzard Bash all over again.
Yeah,
But but yeah, that was a good show overall. I mean, Josh, is it Schlatter? Um,
later.
yeah, he had a heck of a run and in the full size class, and Ian Smith always puts on a show. Um, and was it Cooper Smith that won the compacts, I believe?
Yeah,
And Jeff Peoples won the full size stock. Um, those are some quality drivers that you're getting to your show. And then you got like Logan Black and Matt Bruce. How as a promoter, uh, how's it make you feel when you see them guys come in like to the pit gates? Because they're about to put on a show everywhere
yeah,
they go. So
yeah. They're good drivers, and they have followed me around a little bit, because they both was at Enid too, and they came to Claremore, and they put on a good show.
yeah, that both of them guys are like on our little podcast here. We have like our over under picks of like who's gonna bring home the Mad Dog and stuff, like for our local shows here. And they would definitely be on my like to pick list for
Yeah,
sure. We have a couple guys like that are that run hard everywhere they go around here, and I've seen their driving style, and it mirrors what our local guys do here. So,
yeah,
I as a like a announcer and a video guy for around here, I can tell you when our hard hitters pull in the arena, it's like a sigh of relief, like when they pull in the pit gate, like, oh, yep, it's going to be a good show then.
yeah,
Um, I always like someone that's going to come put on a show for the fans because that's what they remember. They remember the hard hits or, you know, the people that just go all out. They don't really remember, the guys that tried driving it down and then broke off because this or that happened. So let's talk about what we got coming up. Let me see here. Let me do this. Got Hillbilly Havoc, the weekend of destruction coming up for you, right?
yes.
This is
And
March 29th and 30th. So this is a 2-day show at the Appalachian Arena in Pikeville, Kentucky. Um, tell us kind of about this one.
it's another first time show for us. Um, it's like a 15-hour drive for us to get there. And so what they're doing is, they're having the same show both nights. same payout for both nights. So it's not a qualify one night and go to the main the next night. It's basically four classes each night. Um, if something happens and you don't make it through the first night, you always get to be able to come back to the second night. But it's not a bad payout for that area that we research wise and everything. So we're I have no idea how many cars are signed up. I know he's taken uh, up to 20 cars per night per class. So we just
Okay,
got to
so
see how
I was wondering how you're gonna do that if you were capping that off.
yeah, yeah, he's capping that off 20 cars per night per class.
And you said each night, this is the pay scale for both nights.
Yes.
Well, that's enough to get people to come. I mean, 3,000 a win, that's a 6,000 a win if you put that back to back. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Yeah, that's not bad.
I wonder if there's going to be some strategy in that. Like, but man, if say the first night, if people like junk their cars, if all of a sudden you see trailers coming in for if it hasn't been filled or if they can get in, like, oh, I'm trailering up a car from somewhere else because I feel like my odds are pretty good. So
Yeah. Yeah, because I've had some guys that's like, so we can work on them in the motel parking lot. I was like, yeah, I don't care what you do.
so this MWFA street stock class, is this the national rule set that the MWFA national rule set, or is this kind of that's just what you guys call that
That's
class?
it's basically what they've been running all over with them rules. They're just pretty much a stock car. That's all you can do to them, just stop.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't know if that was the one like, the most wanted fine arts class, that you can run pretty much any type of car and all
Yeah.
that. I didn't know if
Mhm.
that was the same deal.
Yes, same deal.
Oh, awesome. Are you guys gonna do the envelope deal? Or I see you have four different payouts. So are you just gonna go with that?
Yeah.
Just the top four?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's a little different, but yeah, that's fun. We did that last year. We had a really good turnout for the first year. I think we drew 25 different types of vehicles. I'm not going to say cars because we had all kinds of stuff, and
Yeah.
um, the drivers just went out there and put on a show because um, the way we did it. And I'm not saying it's the right or wrong way, but we just had a set amount to win, and the rest of them was random envelopes. Didn't matter where you placed, you just get an envelope, and whatever you get, you could be the lucky person that got last place, that got the second amount of money. But
Really? Oh,
uh,
that'd be cool. Yeah. I didn't know they did that. Somebody done that. That'd
yeah,
be
so we were talking to Jason Sauer, the guy that kind of put that on, and that's the way they do it in New York. So that's the way we decided to bring it down when we did it. And man, the drivers, they just had a blast with that thing there.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
It was it was just a fun event. The No one was there to win, and no one really cared where they placed because they knew it was the luck of a draw. So I think everybody just came, knocked the windows
Every-
out, and
Everybody
did
drew.
their best.
Everybody just drew a envelope, no matter where they placed.
Yep. So basically, you have a set amount to win. That don't like we. I think we did like 500. We didn't care who won. It was just a fun derby, and then the rest of the entry fee money went all to. We just split it up into different envelopes, and that's how it. You just did a luck of a draw. Like there's just a bunch of envelopes out there, and you just pick one up, and that's whatever you end up with. That's what you got. And we had a little fun with the envelope thing. My brothers, they kind of played a prank on one of the drivers. they they didn't have anything in one of the envelopes but a gesture. And then later they got to pick the real envelope, but they're just screwing around with the drivers. But
Put some zonks in there, huh?
what I like as if I was a driver coming to this show, you guys have top five get trophies. So sorry. Yeah, top five get trophies. Is that each night too?
Yes, I
I'm
believe so.
guessing.
Yep.
Man, that is 5, 10. That's 50 trophies going. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the guy
Or I'm
that
sorry, that's not 50. That's only 40.
that's
But
40. Yeah.
I was counting the power wheel button there. I didn't scroll down enough. But and then you have a light build compact and a bone stock compact. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So is this an indoor show or is it an outdoor show?
It'd be an indoor show.
Did you have a show here last year?
No.
Okay. So new facility?
Yep. New facility. I've never been to it. I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh wow. I'm sure that always gets you kind of nervous, but
Yeah. Well, they did.
um
This same guy did a monster truck show a couple weeks ago in there. So he told me it's a pretty good sized arena and everything.
yeah. The only thing I worry about when you go to like a new indoor facility, and we've seen it across the country, is the amount of ventilation that you're going to be able
Yeah.
to get in and out of that place. But the good thing about an indoor show is you're seems like you can kind of manipulate the track and set it up how you want it.
Yeah.
So you have no idea who the drivers are on this, right? You said you don't know.
No. I've talked to a few guys on the phone here and there, but I say this part of the country, I've never met any of them over there yet. So it's going to be an interesting 2 days.
Well, if it's anything like Sturgis, you better buckle up because they put on a show.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I think they have a show. The Sturgis show is going this weekend or next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have a team show up there.
Okay. The Wicked show's coming up probably.
Yeah, I think it's next week. So we may get a few cars from that wise.
Yeah, you might. Whoop, went the wrong way. All right. Then the week after that, you're gonna come to my neck of the woods in Lebanon, Missouri, with your Mad Dog Demolition Derby um, at the Cowan Civic Center. Um, Show starts at 6. It looks like you need everybody there that's driving by noon, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Inspection start at noon.
Yeah.
Close at 4. Did this show fill up yet?
No, it has not filled up yet. I got a few guys that's coming. I don't think they are going to sign up. They're just going to sign up that day. Um, got
Uh,
got some sponsorship money for the lawnmowers, so they got $200 for them right off the bat. Last year we didn't have any sponsorship money for them, but this year we did. And last year this was one of the better shows we had. We had 5 rollovers in one night here last year. They put on a show.
oh yeah. Yeah,
And
that
you
was
said the guy,
Shelby Burton coming across the arena. We had
yeah,
the BAS team members rolling their own. I give him crap all the time. That was Seth the Westfloor, Roland Zander in the compact class, and you had a couple full size. I think Logan. I want to say it was Logan Black rolled to the guy, but
yeah, yeah, he
I
did.
don't. Um, my memory's kind of fading on that one there, but yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was.
up in the stands for that one, recording. And they're on my YouTube video for anyone who wants to kind of go back and watch those. They're posted. Um, so 25 car limit is what he's got, but like he said, it's not full. Do you have any classes that are full right now?
Um, I have not looked, to be honest with you. Um, I think that full size, the semi stock may be close to getting full. Last I looked, so I'm not going to say there's not any, but I don't think there is. But I haven't looked in the last week or two, so I've been kind of busy.
Yep. So, and I know personally, if you guys are listening to this podcast, you want to go either support the show and running it, or if you're going to be watching it, you can go ahead and purchase the tickets online at themotorheadevents.com. Um, or you can purchase them that day as well. But it's always helpful if you purchase ahead of time. Usually, like I know last year, I had everything on my phone. I just walked in the place. Um, so as a person that's going to go watch, you can just go ahead and get on there and buy your ticket now. That way, you got a ticket to watch.
Yeah,
So
save you a little bit of money too.
yeah, I think it's a little cheaper if you do it that way
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I know a bunch of people from this area are going to be, they said they've already signed up for it. Do you have a driver's list out anywhere on this?
Um, I do not. They have not sent me a driver's list yet, so I'm not sure who is signed up and who isn't.
Yeah, I personally kind of like the driver list thing just to see. I know some people say that they don't post them up because of they don't want anyone backing out because someone else is coming for them or something like that. But I like it because I feel like drivers get to promote themselves as saying, "Hey, man, I'm going to this show. I'm sharing. I'm on this driver's list. You guys can come watch me, come support me." And it's always nice when you pull into the arena and you have a huge cheering section of a bunch of friends and family that just come to support you. And
Yeah.
I like it as a podcaster, just knowing that I can talk about it and just to see, I can kind of build up the show a little bit like, hey, these guys are coming and here's what we need to watch for. I haven't seen this guy run. He might surprise us all.
Yeah.
um, yeah, this is his Nitro Ned will be there. He was there last year. He put on, uh, they got a really cool little sideshow with him going on.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about something I've been seeing it on all your Facebook posts and stuff. You got your presented by Coltrane Energy as your main sponsor this year. How'd that all work out?
Have you tried any of that? That
I don't
energy?
drink energy drinks, but
I
I
really
know
don't either. I
people
don't,
do.
but I did try one when we were in the Enid. It's really pretty good, and I was surprised because I've had an energy drink before, and I was like, I didn't really care for it, but I had one. And it was pretty good. It was like that was something I'd try again. But yeah, um, yeah, to have them supporting the demo derby and stuff this year that they came on board with them. It's good to have them, and uh, they have a kind of did a new thing with they had a podium that they put up now to where they get first, second, and third place. You get a picture taken with the podium with the Nitro girl or and with the Coltrane Energy girl. That's worth getting third, second, first place for her just to get your picture taken with her.
Yeah, you guys hear that? You get your picture taken with the Coltrane girl, so that might that might spark some interest of some drivers that haven't signed up yet.
Yeah.
I was gonna shout out a couple people, but I'm not going to. I don't want to get them in trouble or me get in trouble. Um, yeah, and something they should do on that drivers list is list like where the drivers are coming from. Um, because a lot of people don't know that you guys had an Antarctica native at your guys' show last year, and He flies more miles than Taylor Swift to see Travis Kelsey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. We all know him around here because he kind of put up a house around here. He's my brother. But yep, he's a native over there from Antarctica. So
Wow, that's cool.
he's got everybody beat.
Yeah, that's good to know.
But yeah, it's all seriousness. It's cool to see like where people are coming from. Um, I know you had out of state support last year, and I'm sure you will again this year too. So
Yeah, we hope so.
yeah. Well, I've heard some rumblings of some stuff that might be going down here. So we'll see if it comes to fruition or not. So, but you're gonna have the mowers back again at
Yes.
this show as well.
Yep. Yeah, I'm
All right.
thinking last I heard, I'm there's probably going to be about 12 of them there. So then they put on a good show.
So then you have a semi-stock full size, compact, and a bone stock hobo. That bone stock hobo, is that going to be the full size cars again?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, and then on our Facebook page, they're listed as full size builders class would be like the semi stock full size, and then we
Oh,
have
okay.
and then a builder's compact, and then the bone stock just says stock, full size stock class.
And
We
I've had a couple people that want me to ask you, is that a semi-stock compacts? Can you run a pre-ran?
yes, yeah, you can
Okay.
run. And basically, why we kind of changed the name of them was I kind of went with a couple other promoters that are local to where we're at, and we all kind of went together and had a same set of rules printed up to where we all can use them, just to try to help car count, help the builders not have to build so many cars because in our local area here, when the county fair is going on, there's like 6 of them within 2 months. So just kind of help the drivers out a little bit. And with us having so many shows, I just tried to branch these out, the same rules out. That way I don't have to be asking, okay, where are you running at, of what show, what rules I need to talk to you about, or this or that.
Yeah.
And,
That's a good move on your end there. That would be rough.
yeah,
Trying to go, well, where are you running? Oh, that's going to be a little different. So,
yeah, yeah, we kind of did that in the past about we had a different set of rules here than when we ran in the Arkansas shows and stuff, and it was kind of a hassle, because I was thinking they were going one place and I'd tell them something and find out is like it was to a different show, and I'm like, oh, I screwed up, you know. So I'm just kind of going by a set of rules and just try to go every place with them a little bit.
all right. So you went from Kentucky to Missouri, and then the very next week, is this, yeah, the very next week you're in Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln, Nebraska.
But this show here isn't. We've only got 5 people signed up for it right now, so I
Okay.
don't think this one's actually going to go.
Okay.
They're having that Cornhusker Chaos the week before. Them guys just ain't signing up because they don't know what they're going to do. Their car's going to get junked or what. So there's
Right.
nobody signing up. So this show is going to get canceled.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Um,
Just got
yeah,
a
that's
little
kind of sucks that
bad timing. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, on getting that show started out. So
Yeah, that's always rough whenever um you got guys that already signed up for a show and they don't know they're gonna have a car left or anything like that.
yeah,
But
and you can't blame them for not signing up. I mean, it's kind of a hard deal to sign up for one. You don't even know what's going to come out with the other one.
so do you have any other sponsors that came on with you this year other than Coltrane Energy?
No, no, Coltrane was the newest one we had.
And then you probably get some event sponsors as you go on.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many? You said you have some shows. How many shows you got this year total?
Um, I had 11 scheduled total, down to 10 now
Yeah,
with that other one. The
that's a
show,
lot
yeah,
for anyone that isn't a promoter. That's when you got 10 demolition derbies in a year. That's a lot to juggle and a lot to handle. So yeah, uh, especially for like you're not just in one centralized area. You're going all over the place.
yeah.
So it's always interested me as a just as a someone that kind of follows the Oklahoma boys promotions around. How you locking down all these arenas that you're getting? The venues are an important part of promoting. And how are you locking these things down?
Um, they're contacting me. Um, I think I hear people call me, and they tell me that so and so recommended them to call me and told me to talk with you, and they like the way we do stuff and this and that. And um, I try to be fair and equal with everybody. Um, I kind of know from a standpoint of how a fair wants something to run, and I know on this side of a promotion what needs to be done for the fair. So maybe I have a little upper hand on something like that, because I know how to talk to the fair associations about what they need to do, and
Yeah.
money
And I'm
wise.
glad you brought that up because that's how shows get better. It takes communication between the promoters and the fair
Yeah.
boards, or the promoters and the drivers. It takes a lot of communication back and forth. How are we going to make this particular show better? And I'm glad you brought that up. That
Because
brought me to my
I
very
promote the
next.
shows, but the shows are not mine. It's their shows, and I'm just helping them trying to make the best show they can put on, and I'm just trying to put on the best show for them.
I've got a question. I mean, you don't have to answer this. It's kind of a fire out of a cannon, but I always like to, we have a lot of promoters that listen to this podcast, and I always ask when I do get a promoter on here, what's one thing that makes a good promoter um in the sport of demolition derby?
You're asking me that, what makes a good person? Um, Somebody that can communicate and just be friends and make everything equal with everybody. Just
Yeah, fairness is very a necessity in this sport. Um, it seems like you can be all, you can be friends with drivers, but you have to be fair. Yeah, everyone has to be on a level playing field,
yeah,
and that's good to know that there's promoters
I
out
res-
there that are thinking
you have
that
to
way too,
respect people.
for sure. You gotta treat people the way you'd want to be treated when they come in the door, and um, that's one thing we always say. If you ask the driver, talk to the drivers, treat the drivers right, the drivers will put on the show. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So that's good. What's your ultimate goal as a promoter?
Um, just to do each derby best I can. I don't have no end goal of being anything special. Just do each show the best you can.
I didn't know if you had that one destination show that you wanted to like put on the map or something. I've always
I
asked people that too.
I kind of have in the back of my mind a show that I think would actually really, really go good, and it's in Oklahoma. And I've made some contacts for that. Um, they just the first thing out of their mouth is no, no way, you know. So it may never happen. You never know.
How do you feel about the overall evolution of the sport of demolition derby? You've been around it enough to know it comes in ebbs and flows.
Oh, yeah.
Are you happy with where we're at in the sport right now, or is there something that we could change?
Um, get rid of the Facebook drama. If we could all do that, I think everything would be a lot better. But like you say, you can't make everybody happy. Um, you do one thing bad to one person and it spreads like wildfire. But usually, if one good thing happens, nobody really hears about that, you know?
Nope.
So,
And that's one thing that I wish would change with the just the overall outlook, I guess, of demolition derby is our sometimes we're our own worst critics, the people in the sport. It's
yeah,
when you there's so much good that comes out of the sport, camaraderie, and there's so much that like, my channel, that's what we try to spotlight is the good. And then you got one thing that, one bad call or something that happened that we're all human. Everyone makes mistakes and
there you go.
something that happened. And that's all anyone wants to talk about is the one little thing that 10 seconds that a wrong call was made and not the 36 other hours of demolition derby that happened that weekend. That was so good. Everyone just wants to talk about that one bad thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I wish would change.
Yeah, definitely.
But with the social media, I feel like it's I feel like it could be a positive as long as
Yep,
as long as we embrace it to make it positive.
exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of it, but there's always the bad with the good.
Oh yeah. So what's the rest of your year look like?
Um, June 8th, in Coffeyville, Kansas, we got a team show. I started this, I think this is our fifth year. Um, it's kind of a show that um, the Brian Nisley Memorial Derby. This was a guy that I went to school with, kind of grew up with him, um, built cars with, helping, this and that stuff like that. Um, it's a show that when I started, we basically just had a figure eight race, and we pay out all the money that was brought in. Um, First place guy that won that was like $1,500. Like last year, we had a two-man team last year. We paid out $10,000 for the winner.
Where's
So
that at?
it's in Coffeyville, Kansas. So we've built this up in 5 years to go. We were paying the first show, we paid out $1,500 to a winner of something. And last year we paid out $10,000 to the winner of something. So it's a show I'm pretty proud of building up. This year we're running three-man teams of the full size, and we're running two-man teams of the compacts, and we're running youth this year. And it's a pre-enter. I think we have a couple spots of the three-man teams still open, and should have a spot or two of the two-man teams. As of right now, we're guaranteeing 6,000 to win for the three-man team. That's the same what we guaranteed last year, but with a saying we're paying out everything that we bring in. So the bigger we get, the more money we're paying now. So
Wow, that's
we could pay out 12,000 this year. I have no clue of what we're going to bring in, but we're going to guarantee 6,000
awesome.
for the two-man.
So do you guys still have the figure eight too?
No, we
Or
don't. No, we just kind of each year we're doing something different. Like we did the figure eight. Then the second year we did a figure eight with a derby after it. The third year we did just a regular derby. I think we did teams. the third year. Second or fourth year, we did teams, and then we're doing teams again this year.
Everybody loves teams. So when you run your team show, is it a one and done or is it head to head or how you
Um,
guys format that?
this year, it's head to head. For the three-man teams are head to head. The compact teams are four teams on, and I think we're limited to 16 teams, so we're going to have three heats of four teams, and then we'll have a consi and a final for that wise.
Is that all one day or is that a
Yeah,
multi-day
yeah, it's
event?
all one day. Yeah, last year we had a big rainstorm come through of it and set us back 2 or 3 hours, and we were like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning before we got done last year.
Holy smokes. I was gonna ask, what time's this thing start?
6 o'clock. It starts at 6. So we're hoping with the being the heads up, we're hoping that we can kind of make it go faster. We'll have the teams waiting to come in as soon as the other one gets out, and so just hopefully we don't have this monsoon of a rainstorm like we had last year.
Yeah, I hope not for your guys' sake. 4 a.m., man.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I
man, I'm
got
gonna have to look.
okay. I got there at 6 o'clock in the morning to start setting stuff up, and I think when I turned the lights out to come home, it was 6 o'clock in the morning the next day.
That's crazy. Man, I bet you're happy to be done with that.
Yeah.
20, that's June 6th, you said, right? In
June, June
Coffeyville,
8th, June 8th,
Kansas. June 8th.
June 8th.
What else you got going? Is that it or is it?
No, July 20th, we are in Salem, Arkansas. We're running three classes there, the full size compacts and a full size stock.
I had a guy ask me to see when you guys were going to run your Arkansas shows. He just messaged me about 2 hours before the podcast
Oh
came
yeah.
out. So
Yeah, so we got one of the Arkansas in June or July 20th, and then August 17th we are in Coffeyville for the Interstate Fair, and then August 31st we're in Miami, Oklahoma for their county fair.
oh, that's a good show there. Miami.
Miami, yeah.
There was a bachelor party there about probably about 5 years ago.
Oh yeah,
My brother, that's where he had his bachelor party in Miami, Oklahoma's Derby.
at the Derby. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show there.
September 14th, we are in Searcy, Arkansas. They'll have full size and compacts there, and it's pretty good payout that show. 5,000 to win there. That's pretty good payout, and even
Yeah,
25 for the compacts to win. That's pretty good. And then September 21st, we're in Harrison, Arkansas, and then that wraps up our schedule. Well, I'm working on another show in Missouri. Um, I don't know if it's going to take off or not, but got talks possibly. And I think it would be an October time frame if we have it. So we might possibly have another one there. It'll be in Missouri, but I can't really
yeah,
say.
October's a good month for a cleanup show if it's towards the end of October.
Yeah.
Most of the derbies around here anyway, or we pretty much believe we're second week of October is the last one for us. So I think that's about when they usually slow down around here. So that'd be a good cleanup show. Well, I really thank you for coming on the podcast and telling us about Southern or Oklahoma Boys Promotions, and what you got coming out and kind of highlighting your shows. We have lots of listeners that listen to this on Spotify that uh, I'm sure you'll pique some interest in some of the listening ears. So,
Yeah.
um,
Anybody got questions, feel free to contact me.
so we thank you for coming on the podcast, and we wish you the best of luck with your season. And I'll probably be seeing you April 6th in Lebanon for sure.
Yeah.
And
Okay, cool.
that June 8th, I may be there too. Who knows?
Yeah. It'd be a good show to come see. Got some really good
Yeah.
drivers lined up.
But yep. So that's John Reeves with Oklahoma Boys Promotions. And you can get in contact with him. He has a Facebook page. They can contact you on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
Um, with Oklahoma Boys Promotions. If you're a venue that's looking for someone and um thinking that he might be your guy, give him a call. I'm sure he'll set something up with you. Drivers, I've seen that on all the flyers. I've seen that he's got his number on there. So he's a brave man.
Yeah.
Probably get a lot of calls, don't you?
All times of the day and night.
But we thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we appreciate you. So locally, we're gonna move on to locally what we got going on with Lucky Sevens promotions. We just put out our oh John, you can click the red button or whatever and it takes you off here. You can hang out and listen, I don't care. Um but with our Lucky Sevens promotions, we put up our sponsorship package. We've got a few sponsorships. We've already got our premium sponsors. They've already locked in from last year. They both decided to keep it going. Sounds like Worthy Bill Bonds Promotions will be our number one sponsor again for the figure eight this year. But I've got up on the screen now. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, watching live, or if you tune in later, you can see the flyer for our sponsorship packages that we have. I'm not going to read through that, but basically we have an event sponsorship is basically a single sponsorship. We have our silver sponsorship. That's a year-round sponsorship. Gold sponsorship, which is another year-round sponsorship with a little bit more. And then our platinum's pretty much what everybody does. You get pit passes to each event, and you get your end of year award dedication as well with a large banner hung at each event. And then you get to keep the banner at the end of the season. So, then your logo goes on all the flyers and all the social media. But that's what's the Lucky Sevens promotions. They just posted that. This is our last week for the Crashed It shirt orders. If you want to get one, you better message me now. I gotta have the money by this Friday coming up, March 22nd. Friday, I'm putting in the order. I want to say thank you to each and every person that has supported us along the way in any way, but especially thanks to those that are jumping on board and buying some merchandise from us. It helps us get to shows each show. It helps us get new equipment. We're not going to make a whole lot on the shirts, but every little penny or dime or maybe dollar or two that we make off the shirts helps us get to the next show at least, or buy the equipment necessary to keep improving the channel overall, or keep bringing you guys better content as the seasons and the years progress. But yeah, so man, we got a lot of exciting things coming out here in Central Missouri with Lucky Sevens promotions that I can't wait for you guys to catch up on. And oh man, I just keep talking to Jacob and Joshua over there at Lucky Sevens, and they are gearing up for a fun year. I can't wait to be a part of the season and to offer the drivers, something in return from Crashed. It's going to be awesome this year. Just the way it's showing, big thank you for the support. Most likely we're going to be jumping on the Lucky Seven sponsorship package as well in the coming weeks. Right now we're building Rayleigh's car. We're for the 10-year-old. We're getting hopefully find some metal for the cage and the bumpers and stuff, and we'll finish her up. That's what I've been up to, if you guys are wondering. And man, I'm just so excited. If you're running this Lebanon show on April 6th on the for the Mad Dog Oklahoma Boys Promotions, if you're running that show, let me know. Um, if you want an on like an in-car cam, let me know. I'm planning to have cameras out there, the GoPros. Pretty sure I got them dialed in now, and we'll just zap them on your car and get them going. If you're running that show and you want a in-car cam, let me know. I've got a couple cams that we're going to put on there, and later on, I'm gonna catch up with John and see if we have a better way for me to get them car to car. But just let me know if you're interested in in-car cam. This has been another episode of the Crashed It podcast. Before I go, the demo organization, they have their voting polls up. You can go on their website or their Facebook page. They have a link that you can click to vote. You can vote up to 7 different teams. You can only vote, once is what they're shooting for. I hope they got it situated now. They kind of had some people that were voting more than once, kind of hindering their way of taking votes. So they had to restart the votes. So if you voted early on in that process, jump back onto that demo website, cast your vote. It's 2023 Bristol. It's coming. Um, you want to be a part of this, guys. Big things are coming. I'm still kind of out of the loop on some stuff, so I am not going to be diving in too deep on this yet. I'm just like you guys. We're just going to watch and wait and see as this stuff comes down the line. Maybe here in the coming weeks, I can get someone, one of the representatives of Demo on the Crashed It podcast. They can enlighten you on a few different things that you can expect to see come out of that Bristol show. But like I said, we're gearing up here in Central Missouri for a heck of a year, and we're excited. I'm getting Snapchats right now constantly from many drivers that are going to be running the figure eight. Their builds are hot and heavy. April 20th, Russellville, Missouri. You do not want to miss that. That's our season opener for the figure eight guys, and it's going to be a show. Also, we have the youth class. They're going to have a youth bump and run right before the figure eight starts for all the 10 to 15-year-old youngsters that can build them, get them cars ready, show up. It's going to be an action-packed season opener, and I can't wait um, to talk more about this one as they start coming up. Also, before we end this one, drivers, if you're a figure eight driver for Lucky Sevens Promotions, planning on doing it all, send me a message on Facebook, on the Crashed It webpage or my personal Jonathan Wood Facebook account. Send me a message. I'm going to have a driver profile spotlight edition podcast coming up that I'm going to have to start working on, just like I did last year. We had a lot of great feedback from that, and I want to continue it. I'm going to make it bigger and better. Of a feedback, of a podcast this year. Um, I am almost set up for StreamYard on this new streaming platform where I can do live streams with a lot more graphics and stuff to make it more entertaining for all you that sit here and watch me on YouTube. I appreciate it. But that's another episode of the Crashed It podcast. If you haven't yet, subscribe, like, and follow me. This is Jonathan Wood. Send 'em and bend 'em. Thanks for watching the Crashed It podcast.